Hello, I'm Sam Meredith and welcome to Forex Today. It's been announced this week that Bitcoin wallet and service provider, Xapo, have been selected to protect the assets held by BIT, or Bitcoin Investment Trust. BIT are managed by Grayscale Investments LLC, and earlier in the year, they became the first publicly traded in Bitcoin investment vehicle when it launched in May. If we take a closer look at the shares, we can see that initially they had been at a premium to the true price of Bitcoin, though the trend appears to be beginning to gravitate toward fair value. Joining me to discuss the confirmation of the deal with Xapo and the latest prices of Bitcoin is Michael Sonnenshein, Director at Grayscale Investments. So Michael, what do you think are the reasons behind the premium pricing of the Bitcoin?
That's a great question. So as you said, the BIT did become the first publicly traded Bitcoin investment vehicle earlier this year. And the way that that has become possible is that existing shareholders who have held their shares longer than a year are eligible to resell those shares under Rule 144 on the public markets. And I think there's a couple of reasons for the premium pricing. One, there is scarcity value. So again, the number of shareholders electing to sell their shares is completely out of our control. So that also makes the number of shares available to be bought and sold and traded also out of our control. So there's scarcity to the number of shares available. Two, there's a novelty factor. So this is the first vehicle of its kind, and I think there are people who want to get their hands on these shares and who realize that this is a really unique opportunity. So how long and how high the premium persists for is completely out of our control. But we're very encouraged to see the trading volume continue to trend higher every day and increasing amounts of interest from investors looking to get involved with the fund.
Okay, well, moving on to the deal that has been signed with Xapo, the BIT team appear to have affirmed faith in Xapo's long-term sustainability in selecting their services to entrust its holdings. What was unique about this project that ultimately secured the deal?
Sure. So, I think when we started the fund, which was September of 2013, there really were no companies who had put together really the infrastructure and technology needed to securely store Bitcoin. So we actually took on role of custodian ourselves, and over almost the last 2 years have become really adept at storing Bitcoin on our own. And I think that as over time we've added various service providers to the fund, be them our legal counsel, our auditor, Ernst & Young, our transfer agent, whoever it may be, it only became apparent now that there are several great players in the space who are actually in the business of Bitcoin vaulting and storage. And I think Xapo, the team there, the technology they provide, et cetera, has really, been an ideal fit for us as we look to, move forward with the fund and continue to bring really good service providers to the fund for our investors.
So as you mentioned, the focus now turns to moving forwards with the fund. And with the partnership with Xapo confirmed, what will BIT and Grayscale Investments target for the future?
Sure. So I think the idea for Grayscale as a digital currency focused asset management business is to continue to create and bring to market products that allow investors to access digital currency. I think it's our belief that digital currency will, continue to carve out a piece for itself in the asset allocation pie chart. And whether people express that view through a vehicle like the Bitcoin Investment Trust or the next second, third, fourth, fifth product that we bring to market, the idea is that we are kind of bridging that gap and making what is inherently, unfamiliar to people familiar through a transparent structure that not only they can wrap their head around, but also their financial advisors, their lawyers, accountants, et cetera. So I think we'll look to develop a whole suite of products that allow people to access digital currency investing.
Excellent. Thank you very much for joining us, Michael. Be sure to check back for our next Forex Today edition with Sinead McLaughlin. Goodbye for now.